Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be drawing some girl. I don't know. Her name's in the title, probably. I don't know who she is, but we're gonna draw her. Someone 15 minutes ago commented that I should draw her, so we're gonna do that now. Yep. Alright, I don't know. I don't know what to say. What the fuck? I have no idea what this lady is from, nor do I even remember what her name is, or anything about her. But she does have a round chin, which is not good for me, because I'm not very good at that. Or pretend like that's good enough for the moment, because we'll do the head last. And alright. You've got to be kidding me. Her entire outfit, and this isn't sharp enough, and style is a lot different from what I normally draw. I don't draw super detailed things, but this is like less detailed than I normally do. It still has detail, don't get me wrong, it's still got detail, but it's not the same type of detail. It's like, you know, the difference between like children's art and not children's art. And I don't mean like art drawn by children, I mean like for children and like cartoons and things like that. They often use like no clothes folds, or not no clothes folds, but they use a very small amount of clothes folds and typically keep the shading to a bare minimum. And that's kind of how this is. I mean, I know I don't do a lot of, holy shit, it's windy, a lot of clothes folds, but I do more than this. And we're going to need to make this wider. We don't want to make her incredibly disproportionate. Let's try to see how long this should really be. Is she going to be too... This drawing is entirely too tall for my paper, so we're going to scale her down anyways. I will be right back, hold on. Alright, we're back. Okie dokie, now onto the drawing. Onto this. There is more sleeve, but there's kind of a little frilly thing right here, which I just kind of want to mark that it's there and not draw it yet. I do want to draw it, though. I do not know if it's important to her character, because I saw her in so many goddamn different outfits that I don't really think she has a specific outfit. But I could be wrong, because yet again, I do not know who the fuck she actually is. Here again is where this thing will be, the frilly stuff. Is frilly even the right word? What does frilly mean? Frilly. I googled frilly. That is not a website. Is our internet down? Whatever, fine. That doesn't matter. It's not important, I guess. Guess what I wanted to know? Doesn't matter. Alright. Go ahead and just get a little neck thing in there. And a little neck thing in here, too. And then, how are we gonna draw this? Just a little bit more space there. Then just a straight line. No having to do fancy business, because this is more cartoony-ish. How big are we going to want her waist to be? I don't know. Should we deal with her head? I feel like we should deal with her head now. Okay, so we need a really round. We need a really round face. That's gonna be a no on my end. That's a no. How are we gonna do this? This is just a swoop with a little bit of a flat down here. Little swoop, flat right there with more swoop to it. Right. There we go. There's the basic head. Is it perfect? I honestly think it's pretty good. Perfect? Nah, I don't think it's perfect. I mean, obviously it could be better, but I think it looks pretty good for just a little shitty thing. Now we're also going to just lightly sketch out the rest of the circle head, just so it won't stay there, because that's where the hair is gonna go. And alright. Now that we've got the basic head, we're gonna move on to the body again. And she does have a heart on her clothing. Are we going to want to include that? Let's say yes, because her whole kind of thing kind of reminds me of like a magical girl, so that heart would be somewhat important. And if she's a magical girl, I'm so smart. And if she's not, she looks like one. You can't blame me for thinking that. Alright, yep. Those are some pretty terrible frillinesses, but you know, whatever. I do not give a single shit. Also, just to give the people, pretty much every single person who doesn't know who this person is she's pink. All this is pink. Everything's pink. The frilly stuff is a lighter shade of pink, but everything's pink. Okie dokie. I'm not very good at drawing hearts, and she has frilly stuff around the heart. You know, I would have really liked to say I wasn't good at drawing hearts and then draw like a 10 out of 10 amazing heart and just not have had to redraw this, but no. You do not do that because that would be too good. Yeah, we're just gonna skip the heart for the moment. Well, this makes her have absolutely no chest. She needs to have some bit of a chest because she has some in this. That's giving her a really weird chest. The peak should be about level with the frillies. And then go down. We'll round that shit out once we deal with the heart. But at the moment, that's her chest. We're just gonna angle that a little bit more. Actually, that shouldn't be angled. I had that right in the first place. Then it's this that's wrong, because this should be more angled. Well, now she looks like she has too much chest. I really need to draw people with boobs more often, because I legit do not know how to fucking draw them. I can never fucking draw them correctly whenever I try. Is that where we're gonna want the frilliness? No, we're gonna want that a little bit lower. Just a little tittle-tattle bit lower, though. Just a little bit. Then we'll just pretend like we're adding some really good frillies. Wow, some good frillies, yep. And that's where the frillies are going to end. So we'll actually extend it just a tad. And we'll put her fold right there. Except that's going to be entirely too high because of the downsizing of this body we have to do. That's probably why this looks wrong, is because I have to downsize everything like that hard. I'm drawing this, I bet. Yeah, that's about the same size. Let's see, the length of this is smaller. Okay, that's good. Let's see, the length of this, length of this. None of these lengths should... Yeah, this length, same length. These shouldn't line up because I'm making her smaller, but they are. But that's fine. She's gonna be disproportionate. It would not be the first time I've drawn someone disproportionate. And it will not be the last. And it's okay, because I do not care. Because it's all part of learning. What did I used to say? It's all part of the process or something? I don't know. It's some bullshit I used to say when I was coding still. And all those videos. I think there's about like 60 coding videos. Did it for like 2 months before I was like, F this recording shit. And then I did it for like another 2 months. And realized that I was not putting nearly enough time into it and decided to not code. Still like coding, just don't know nearly enough about computers to do it. Decided to focus on art instead of coding. Alright. And then this should also be about the same height as this little line right here. And then this connects right there. And it goes right there. We're going to do this. Go like this. Alright. Get it there. Do a little bit of a bump. And then we're gonna sort of go like this and then go up a little bit and up a little bit to meet this end of the skirt. And of course she's gonna get cut off at the feet. I actually wanted to draw her shoes this time. The one time I actually wanted to draw a person's feet, it's gonna get cut off. Which is actually quite funny, I think, but whatever. I think this is a little too far out, maybe. Yeah, it should be about the middle part of the sleeve, but she's also disproportional here. Because her shoulder... Oh wait, it's because I'm doing this part of the arm wrong. I completely forgot to do a rough sketch of this entire body first. I can't believe I forgot to do that. That's fucking stupid. That was stupid. And that's because her arm is going out, which her arm is thicker than that. It's about this thickness. And then it's like right here. Damn, these are some skinny arms. We're gonna thickify these arms a little bit because of needing to. Damn, she got big hands. She really got some big hands in this drawing. We ain't gonna draw her stuff yet, like some more frilly stuff. We're not going to draw her hand yet and finalize that arm because of gonna need to draw her hair first to figure out where her hair is going. Just to make sure everything lines up perfectly. Well, perfectly is, that's not gonna happen. Lines up good enough. Well, that's too bent. Right, and then put some hand here, hand here, hand here. There's some definitely proportional and completely fine hand. Yep, that is fine. We're going to go ahead and keep this, even though I feel like it's a little bit... I do feel as if this part of the arm is too curved. We'll try to straighten that out, but there's not too much I can do about that at the moment because I don't want to. Except for actually, let's go ahead and try to fix it. Okie dokie. Now, that looks pretty decent. Let's go ahead and just pretend like we're adding that frilly stuff right there. She does have a little frill loop right here, which we're just not going to focus on yet. And then her legs. Should we even draw her legs, considering that it's just going to get cut off? We'll do little itty bitty sketches of where her legs would go. And then we'll figure it out. Don't ask me why she's in this weird position with her legs. I couldn't tell you. Kind of looks like she's like swaying back and forth, twirling her hair like in her finger. But I don't know. If I knew the character, I could probably tell you what the fuck she's doing, but I don't fucking know who this character is. I do know that when looking her up, there were so many goddamn pictures that were like, would show her and then just say like, this is literally me. And I just thought that was funny. I think it's funny whenever there's like a character and then like there's tons of memes that are like, she's literally me. I just think it's funny. Alright, cool. So I guess I kind of could draw her shoes because her legs are actually on the screen. Also, I know this isn't a screen. Shut up, I don't give a fuck. I will refer to this as a canvas, and I will call it a screen. Well, actually, I guess it is a screen for you, because you're on a TV or a phone, which a surprising amount of people actually watch these videos on the TV. I looked at my statistics, and it's like 28% of you watch it on TV. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But I mean, also over 50% of you are girls somehow, which I don't understand. I've literally never once seen a statistic that has more girl percentage than guy percent, or like viewership. I have 52% female viewership and whatever the other percent of that equals to 100 of male, which is pretty crazy. Didn't know that was even possible. I didn't even know girls used YouTube. Alright, cool. all nice and dandy. Just like, yep. Wow, amazing, cool, awesome hair. I want to draw this heart though, but the hair. Heart or hair, heart or hair, heart or hair, heart or hair. Let's flip a coin. I don't feel like getting a coin out. We're gonna draw the heart. All right. This part of the heart should be bigger because of perspective. But I'm not the best at portraying perspective, and especially since I forgot to draw a outline of the body before I started drawing it, so the proportion, that's why part of the proportions are off and perspective's off. I mean, that's not the only reason. I'm also just not the best at art, but I mean, like, I'm gonna blame it on that, because if you have something you can blame it on, you always blame it on it. Can't be your fault if you're blaming something else. Alright. Yeah, well, that is good enough for me. Good enough. I think that part could be taller, but whatever. There's also frilly stuff around the heart, but no fucking way. I'm not going to be able to get that to look good whatsoever. Let's just give her a little dot mouth. And while I'm doing this, I might as well share this random piece of... is this advice or a tip? I don't know, that I found out. I saw something in a... Hold on, let me breathe. And, like, something... If you look at a drawing of a character, a lot of the times the eyes are not at the same level. Like, they're both slightly off a little bit. Not a lot like I usually do, but like a little bit. They're not at the same height. Unless it's like a direct, straight-on view and it's like supposed to be like that. I'm scrolling down a little bit right now looking at these pictures you can't see, and all of them, the eyes are at slightly different heights. I don't know why. I guess I can assume why, because, you probably want to tilt the head and the body in different ways, because a static pose is not nearly as interesting as a dynamic pose. If you don't know what a static pose is, that's kind of like just standing like straight and still and shit. But a dynamic pose is where you like maybe are standing in a cool pose. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to explain this shit. I'm not an explainologist. Explainologist. Alright, cool. Now I'm gonna have to practice fucking backgrounds. If anybody knows how the fuck to draw backgrounds, or not backgrounds, if anybody knows how to draw landscapes, you should comment down below how the fuck I should learn how to do that. Because I gotta learn how to do that soon. For very top secret purposes that definitely I've never revealed before. Alright, cool. Those slices of hair, actually, slices? Yeah, whatever. Those slices of hair actually look pretty decent, which I like. I like that they look decent. She's just getting a clean, straight cut of hair right there, because, well, that's what a hairstyle is. If you don't like it, don't look at it. I do not care. Not my character. Don't care if you like not my character. Unless I like that character, then I care. But I don't know this character, so I harbor no feelings towards her. Let's give it one of those round ears that I see in a lot of like graffiti-ish style art. Well, that's what it reminds me of. It's not really graffiti, but it's like these kind of reminds me. It's like toon characters, kinda. She's got a lot of sparkles in her eyes too, which I actually like. I really like sparkles in characters' eyes because they make the characters look better. Because it's just more to the eye. I'm gonna continue taking deep breaths because I don't know how to fucking breathe. We're gonna add just some lines in here to try and make this look like actual hair instead of just a line. We'll obviously make it a little bit better when we're done with it, but at the moment it's good enough. Are we going to want to add that? That being the shine that is across the hair. There are two shines that are across this hair, actually. One that I will not be adding because, well, it involves multiple colors, which I cannot add because I do not have colors. And then there is one that it just sort of involves little dashes, which I will add because I can add dashes. There's nothing that stops me from doing that. Also, technically, I do have other colors. I've got a red pen over there. Actually, nope. That was my sister's pen. I do not have it. I have black and gray. I might have a blue pen, if that pen over there is blue, but it might be black or purple. I don't know. I have not used it in a long time. Okie dokie, we're going to erase reading that because we don't care. Let's add the bow, because she's got 2 purple bows in her hair. Yeah, that's right. I lied earlier. She's not just all pink. She has purple bows. I am a liar. Alright. Okay. There's bow. Bow part. And then the bottom part. Oh yeah, when I looked up this character's name for some reason, like on Google, on Pinterest, it was mostly just this girl that I'm drawing. But on Google, for some reason, when I looked her up, it was like 2 different characters. It was like one with like a brownish, blackish hair, and like a darker gray hoodie, and then there was this girl in all pink. And the person who asked me to draw this did not specify, so I was like, wait, who am I supposed to draw? But then I looked at their profile picture and I was like, I'm gonna assume it's the pink ones, and considering it's their profile picture. Alright, that's a no-go on me. Don't like that. We are gonna want something bigger, better. And better. Did I say better yet? Because I need better. Yep, that's good enough. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I'm not entirely too fond of it. But you know, whatever. This lady's got the type of hair that I like. I like characters with pigtails. I think pigtails look cool on characters. Not in real life, though. I don't like pigtails in real life. I think they look stupid in real life. But on drawings of characters, they look awesome. I like them then. You know, it's kind of nice, this character being somewhat more simple than the other ones I've drawn. Mainly, specifically for the hair like this. Because the hair is simple strands like that. That's her hair. That's That's it. That's all it is. That's so simple. So freaking simple. So goddamn simple. I could draw it more complicated. But shut the fuck up. I'm not doing that. Sounds like bullshit to me. What are you trying to get me to do more work? I'm already doing slightly more work. But I'm gonna ink it. I still feel like adding the tiny lines and calling it inking is wrong. I still feel like that's not correct. Terminal? Like dead? I don't know. Termage. I feel like it's not the right term, but whatever. I haven't been corrected or anything, so I'm gonna keep calling it inking. It doesn't really matter if I'm calling it the wrong thing anyways. I call the things tiny linies, and they're called fine liners, so it doesn't matter. Alright. We need to get the top of her head on. She needs to equip the top of her head, which shall start at the bottom third of this bow. And then it shall continue all the way across her head, all the way down to this ear, where it shall wrap around and do round things. Things that round things typically do, like being round. What exquisite roundness that showcases right there. It is doing round very well. Beautiful. I could technically leave it with just one, with that thingy. One pigtail. Is that still count as a pigtail? No, I think that's a ponytail line. But, no. Because look at her hand. What's she supposed to play with? If the hair's over here? I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, doing, or anything. Lost track of what I was saying. Just started making noises. That's how you can tell I've lost track of what I'm saying, when I just start making random noises. That or I tripped up on my words and I'm ready to just stop talking. I trip on my words constantly. Alright. Let's go. It's me, Mario. Should draw Mario. Oh wait, nope. Gotta draw Omni-Man. After I draw this, gotta draw Omni-Man. I've had a friend asking me to draw him for like 2 weeks. And I've just kept telling him, remind me tomorrow. I think he is getting slightly annoyed at me telling him to remind me tomorrow. Alright. Yep, that's the most round bow I've ever seen. I think that's perfect and beautiful. I wish you could see my hand expressions when I go up here. My hands are like the only way I can expressively talk in this way, because you only see my hands, so it's the only way I can be more expressive with my voice, or not with just my voice. Which I definitely prefer, expressing big movement or big stuff with my hands a lot more. Because then I don't have to raise my volume. If I want to express any type of anything, I gotta raise the volume of my voice. And I don't like to yell. Unless it's at my sister. We'd constantly just yell at each other for no reason. It's great, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. What a beautiful bow that is, isn't it? This actually looks pretty diddly darn dang good, if if I do say so myself. That is pretty diddly dang darn good. I can guarantee you when I show that one friend who wants me to draw Omni-Man, first thing he's gonna say when he sees it, he's gonna say gay. But it doesn't matter. Son of a bitch. If our hair starts up there, it needs to start up here, which means this needs to curl. We curl, or not curl, flurl. I don't fucking know. How low does her hair go? About there, so her hair should be about here when she starts wrapping it around her finger. So we're going to need to reach her hand about there, and then we're going to need to add this part of the hand, which is going to be right here. This needs to connect to about here. And then do this part, which also connects to the hand, but slightly lower. And then we're going to need to add this part. Ooh, add a thin part. Doesn't need to be quite that thin, but you know, that's fine. Then we'll add this part, which also is right here. Awesome, sweet. And then we'll add some lines here. And you may not know what you're looking at, and that is fine, because you cannot see what I can see. You don't know what I'm going for yet. You can't see inside of my head, nor would I ever let you. Alright. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Alright. Let's add a finger, just so we can get something. Oh, wait, shit, the fingers gonna need to go up further. Yep, and it's fine if the finger is sharp or blocky or not entirely humanly correct, because it's a slightly more cartoony character, which means the proportions are fine if they are incorrect. Which is nice. But I do not know how to draw like this. Normally, I would draw lots of characters like this, because it's nice to not have to pay attention to anatomy. Or not anatomy, but whatever. It's nice to not fully have to pay attention to making everything line up perfectly. But I don't know how to do that, because, well, to do that, you also still need to know how to fucking draw. Or you need to have the experience of having been drawing for a while and doodling a lot, and brute forcing your way into knowing how to draw that. Like I brute forced my way into being able to draw a side profile. I do not draw it correctly or use the right method. I just drew it enough to where I can draw a side profile using a really weird way. I have made a tutorial on how to draw a side profile, and that's not even how I draw a side profile. I just figured the way I do it is probably not the most efficient way, and I was figuring someone who's looking up is probably going to want a little bit easier of a way. And the way I use doesn't fully follow all the, guidelines of you put the line there for the face and the line there for the nose and the eyes and the mouth. And that's what I mean when I say I brute forced it, because I can just get them to line up. I don't measure those lines at all. Right. Now, let's go ahead and get this pinky in here. Yeah. Making this pinky look like a pinky. Yeah. This hand is the most disproportional hand I've ever drawn in my entire life, I think. Is that true? Absolutely fucking not. You should see some of the hands I used to draw. Before I started actually drawing, I made it like 3 days into... I was going to try to draw a hand every day until I could draw hands. I made it like 3 or 4 days into that, and I was like, this fucking sucks. And quit. And then I started actually trying to draw. But you can obviously see that now. Oh boy, the ways I have come, or whatever. I don't know. I've done pretty good, honestly. I should redraw some of my original things that I put in my sketchbook. I don't think I could draw a lot of them much better than they were originally drew. But I could definitely draw them better. A lot better? I don't know. But better, definitely. I am 100% confident I could draw them better. A lot better I'm less confident in. But better. Pretty confident in that. Pretty confident in being better than I was. A lot better. Not very confident in being a lot better. Alright. Oh shit, I didn't give her a thumb, did I? This bitch don't have a thumb. Why is her finger so long, too? God damn, this bitch got a long finger. That kind of looks like it's supposed to be her thumb, and she's got her hand like this. What do we do? Do we move her hair down along with the hand? I think we're going to do that, because that's... Or moving the hair and the finger down is easier than redrawing that hand. Alright. Yep, and then we can add this right here, this right there, and this right here. And this all actually converges onto right here. And then here goes there, and there goes here. There's the hair, just a little bit of a little. And then now we need to draw the thumb that's not probably not going to look the bestest thumb that I've ever seen, but you know, whatever, I don't give a shit. Alright. That's a big hand for a tiny girl. That's fine. She's got one really big hand and the other one's just sort of big. That's fine. This is fine. This is exactly what I wanted her ginormous fucking hand to look like. Look at that Goliath beast. I don't know. I'm trying to think of big words, and Goliath was the first word that came to my mind. I don't even know what Goliath means. It just sounds like a big word. It sounds like it means big. I don't have a very big vocabulary. I don't know what it means. I've got the vocabulary of like an elementary school student. Alright, cool. That's actually really good. I'm gonna cut the video here so it's not too long, and ready, set, time lapse, go. Time lapse song, it's the time lapse song, where we do the time lapse. Time lapse. I'm gonna put that in the video. Alrighty, I am back, and I think this looks pretty good. And now it's just on to the inking. I'll see you there. Alrighty. That is the end of this. I think it looks pretty good. I kind of want to fill in the heart, so I'm actually going to do that now. Even though I decided not to, I'm deciding against it again. And we're going to fill in the heart on video now. And then that will mark the end of this video. Alright, this is whoever that character was. I actually really like this. I'll see you next time.